Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998. Still got plenty of stuff to work on. Today, I'm going to be working on upstrokes. What are upstrokes? So an upstroke is when you're playing a low note and you go into a high note. So we're going to do this with grid variation, triplet grids. So we're going to do, instead of you're going to do it as upstrokes. So triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, so it's all got the accent after some taps. Now, in these practice streams, I like to share what I'm working on, how I'm working on things, what I'm trying to improve. And the timestamps in the description for all 300 plus practice streams, you can see what I was practicing. You can see how I was working on it. Like yesterday, I was working on a new limb independence variation, and I spent a significant period of time just sitting there and grinding it out, trying to get better at it. Now, often people ask me in the various chats that I have up on my screen, how to get better at drumming or even teaching. Because I've been drumming for so long and because I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education, people ask me questions that I will often answer, edit down, and put into a video like this. Good morning, Zeke. How you doing on Instagram? So these videos, there's almost 100 of them, have a variety of different tips inside of here that can help you with your drumming. Now, the title is the first thing that I talk about. So, for example, I talk about roughs at the start of this, but then there's more different types of tips in the majority of these videos. All of the play-alongs I'm going to use, you can find on my home tab of the tube of you. If you scroll on the home tab, it's organized alphabetically. So we got chop exercises. I've got gaming stuff because I'm a nerd. We've got over 1,000 grid variations. You actually have to click to expand the header to show all of them. Otherwise, YouTube only shows 12 of the playlist. But, there's many more than that. We've got a bunch of limb independence exercises, a few hundred marching bass related stuff, some drumline cadences, computer science stuff because I'm a nerd. And we've got all these technique exercises. This one you also have to click to expand to show it because there's almost 400 of them. So, And then here's the tips, the lessons, and the prior live streams if you are so interested in that. Now, today, we're going to get motivated here with Shia LaBeouf in order to work on our upstrokes. So, Shia, I'm going to hide you for a moment. Here we go. Just do it. I'm going to motivate my wife in the process. Do it! Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. I rushed that. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. I love it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! What's he grabbing? Do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah. I am super motivated here. How about me? I'm doing good. I'm glad to see that you're doing good as well, Zeke. I'm doing good. We're going to work on upstrokes today. What are drum? Drum are things you hit. Does that help, Edwards? Maybe? Now, the exercises that I'll be using today, you can find linked at the top of each one of the play-alongs. I've got all 2,000 plus of them. And this shows you all the exercises organized neater than I can on YouTube. I've cleaned up my home tab a lot to try and make it easier to sort through it all. But here's all the 62 chop exercises, over 1,000 grid variations, 55 drum charts, straight and swung, over 150 timing exercises to work on your permutations and limb independence, 476 marching bass stuff, a bunch of cadences, 375 technique exercises, and then all the lesson related stuff and the tips and whatnot. Now I'm going to warm up here, and I'm going to warm up with just an exercise, and then I'm going to work in the accent tap playlist, specifically focusing on the grid variation with upstrokes so we can refine our upstrokes. Let's see, what do I want to warm up with today? So I did stick control recently. Let's actually do 16th note diddle. So there's a variation of gallop in here that is called Rodeo. And so if you go into here, whoop, this is a good, ooh, yeah, that's high resolution right there. Don't worry, it's not your eyes. It's YouTube. So you can go into the timestamp, so you can pick a BPM to start off, and then when you click, it'll tap you off. Am I going to any DCI events this year? I don't know. Maybe the Southwest Core Connection, but I don't know who's performing there. But, you know, it's a local show, so. But I wasn't really planning on it. Depends on what the schedule looks like. Come on, YouTube. You can do it. Believe in yourself. It was doing this yesterday, or a couple days ago, with, like, the invert play-along for some reason. Let's try refreshing it. Okay, it's back to the wonderful resolution. What? There you go. Who's a good YouTube? You're a good YouTube. Yes, you are. Come on. Okay, let's try a different BPM. Sure. I guess YouTube's like, nah, you don't need to play this one slow. You're warming up. All right, fine. Here we go. Oops. I started playing wrong phrase. My bad. Edwards, you going to anything this year? Are you performing in a core this year? I know you're doing WGI, but what about DCI? Kohi. Here we go, 110. Don't know why it's so quiet. Whee! 120? It's weird that 90 wasn't working. I don't know what the deal is with YouTube. Where it's just like doing this. Where it just like spins forever. It's cursed. 120. Whoops! Slow down, my hands are getting tired. Okay, we're just warming up, so we'll go ahead and stop there. Now I'm gonna stretch and massage. I don't wanna like overly tighten up things. Take your sticks, hold them, palms facing up. Pull in, push through. It stretches the sides of your forearms. Does it look weird? Yeah. Does it feel great? Yeah. Do I recommend it? Yeah. I've been doing this one since 1998. First drum teacher taught it to me. It's great. If you do traditional rotate and hold there, I don't do that anymore. I'm going to skip that. Now I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm. You could pull it like this. You could do 2 fingers. You could do this one on the wall. I did that last technique stream. Oh, that feels so good. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Or you could do it on your like pad or a table. Or a bison. Maybe a giraffe or 2. Can you hear my thoughts? Oh, I thought it. Yep. Now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm. Oh, that feels good too. You could do it like that. You could do 2 fingers. It's just a deeper stretch. You could do it like I demonstrated a couple days ago. on the wall, the higher you go, the deeper the stretch. You could do it like I did yesterday on the drum kit one, on your legs, or you could do it on your pad. Again, don't put all your weight into this, like either stretch. You don't want to rip your arms off. That'd be bad. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Not that kind, though. All right, now we're going to stretch thumb to thumb. Had a professor who'd make that joke. It made me laugh, and now I can say it, too. I have joined the club. Thumb to thumb, good stretch. 10 out of 10. Would stretch again. Hold it there for however long you need it. Some fingers might need to hold it there for longer. If it's extra tight, some fingers are like, no, it's fine. I'll move on. ASMR? Oh, no. Wow. Denied. Sorry, members only content. Speaking of, if you see any of the like few hundred videos that are listed as members first on my YouTube channel, they are all scheduled to release for free. So you don't have to sign up for membership, but I do have the early access tier, which is the lowest possible amount I can make it on YouTube, is 99 cents. And that gives you access to all like 400 and some odd videos. So if you want to not wait, you can do that for as cheap as I can make it. Otherwise, just wait. I promise they're all coming out for free. I don't sell a course. I don't sell a book. I don't sell an app. I don't do private lessons anymore. I actively turn away money. But if you want early access to that, it's as cheap as I can make it. Otherwise, it'll come out. I promise. It might be a year from now or longer, but it'll come out. Don't worry, there's still like 2,000 videos that'll keep you busy for a while. I'm massaging up and down the forearm, trying to get nice and relaxed. And because there's so many videos, like on my home tab, like I've got to organize alphabetically and as neatly as I can. But if you have questions, just leave them in comments. I usually respond in 24 to 48-ish hours. I have a comment addiction problem. I respond to all of them. Unless you're a troll, then you're just gone. Immediately. Wasted. I'm massaging thumb, fingers. Thank you for the like on YouTube. Trying to get relaxed. The last massage I'll do is from the base to the tip of each one of the fingers. And then we will play some upstrokes. Yay! So, massaging from here to there. At least 2 times. Ooh. Wee. Ooh. Wee. Trying to analyze like which finger is tighter. Think of why. What did I do? Maybe it was all that finger wrestling I did. Is that a thing? I know thumb wrestling is. Thumb Wars. It's gonna be on ESPN 12. Okay. The epic thumb war battle continues. So we are gonna go back. Actually, I'll just show you on the home tab of YouTube. So again, each one of the play-alongs, like if you go to the link at the top, it takes you to where it's organized neatly on my website. But if you don't want to go to the website and you just want to stay on YouTube, totally cool. Try and make your life easier. On my home tab, we got it organized by alphabetical order. Chops, gaming, grid, limb, marching bass, scores, technique. So under technique, it's actually right here. We're going to work on axe and tap exercises. There are 50 videos in here. Woo! Keep you and I busy for a while. One of my favorite grid variations for like working on axe and taps are the upstroke variations. Now, the upstroke variations, there's forward, there's backwards, there's 2 accents, and there's all of that for both triplet and 16th note. So there's quite a few different variations in here. And again, all these members' first ones are scheduled to release for free. So don't worry, you'll get it. Where's triplet? Not downstrokes. Upstrokes, there we go. Okay, so this one is forward, 4-2-1. This one is backwards, where it's 1-2-4 accent pattern. So we're gonna go here. Boop. And we're not doing at 188, thanks though. So for all the play-alongs, you just go into the timestamps in the description, and then when you click on it, it will... Yeah. tap off, and then you play along. Oh boy. Here we go. Ooh, early. Try and stay super relaxed on these accents, just pull back. If you want to mark time to it, great. It'll help with your timing. But don't do this. Do not squeeze. Just pull back. Have consistent taps before the upstroke. Now, I'm working on this because my inverts the other day were not where I wanted it to be. When I was chopping out, they were slowing me down. So we've been focusing on like cheese invert builder, the invert builder, and now this alternating upstroke grid variation, which also helps with your inverts. Also make sure your taps aren't like this. Keep them nice and low. Oops. Talking screws me up. Again, without squeezing on the accents. Pull back. We're now at 42. That is the answer to the meaning of life. Really looking down at my hands, trying to get them a better match. Oops. Talking screws me up. Because I did so many seasons with traditional, and then practice a bunch of match grip with a ring on, so I had to change my technique so the ring wouldn't click. Like make my ring finger a little more off the stick than is desirable. Made it so that my left and my right hand are two slightly different techniques, so I'm trying to fix that. So I've got my ring around my necklace and, you know, over analyzing my playing. Try and get better. Again, I've been drumming a long time. Still got plenty of stuff to work on. Everybody does. If you don't think you do, go study with somebody privately. Appreciate you stopping in, Hershey's. Hope you have a good day. Now, playing slow helps refine your technique. Use the same fast technique while playing slow. I say it almost every time I'm practicing slow because it's that important. The secret to getting good on drums is putting the work in on the right things. If you just play fast, you're likely not going to make as many significant gains as if you go slow. so sorry. I know. It's okay to unsub. Every mistake I make, you unsubscribe. We're gonna go from 10,000 subs to 0 by the end of the week. Mistakes happen. Speaking of, my thumb position like slid. Focusing on the taps. I'm trying to get the taps to be a nice full sound, not just like little weak taps. They've been lifting. I got things stronger. Early. Rushed into that upstroke. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I mentioned it the other day, but I'm trying to get that vibration feeling, that little tickle on both the accents and the taps. So it means there's space for the stick to move around. It makes a humming sound. You can feel the tickle. That's a good thing. It means you relax, letting the stick be able to vibrate, which means the energy is transferring into the head rather than your hand, which gives you a fuller sound. Oops. Gotta focus. It's hard to talk while playing. Now make sure that last release isn't like overemphasizing it. Slightly late on the attack. Now you notice that when I warmed up, I was going by like 10 clicks. Sometimes I'll go by like 5 clicks. But when I'm trying to refine something, trying to improve something, I'm going 1 click at a time. There's a reason why all these playlists start slow and go 1 click at a time. It helps you improve your playing. I promise. Trust the process. Trust me. I'm a doctor. Sammy, good morning. Starting the day off right with some upstroke technique work. Just doing a quick check-in, see where it tightens up when playing fast. I like that idea. Thinking. Let me write that down. What? I want to type. What's going on? Can I not type? No, I can type. Weird. My like notes app is like not letting me type anything. Oops. Don't type that. Okay. Sorry, I had to like close open it. Okay. I'm gonna think about that more. So I like to like keep notes of like things to potentially work on. Good morning, Jeffrey. Why did I say it like that? My brain is still waking up apparently. So I just like took a note for something to think through more of like something that I'll turn into a drumming tips that like will hopefully help people out with stuff. But sometimes I'll share it like in the moment, and other times I'll just be like, I like the idea, but I think I need to like sit with it more. That was one of the ones to sit with. Late. full disclosure, I was like, oh, hey, maybe I can do this. And then like my brain was like thinking about potentials rather than like what I was going to play. And then I completely missed the tap off. Let's try that again. I'm so sorry. I'm distracted this morning, apparently. $54. You did not see that mistake. You like the way I say good morning? Is me? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Trying to be as true to myself as I can be on the internet. And unfortunately, that receives some harassment at times. Hence why I just block them and have chat disabled on most platforms except YouTube. It just makes my life so much better. Nothing, well, I wouldn't phrase it that way, but living your life to the expectations of, like, random strangers, not how I want to, exist. Especially when everybody has their own unique opinion that doesn't align with who you might be, your goals, your values. So I'm just trying to do my thing. Always trolls out there? Yeah. Unfortunately. And unfortunately, some of those people are in pain and take it out on others, which, not cool. You know what else is not cool? Playing super late on the attack. That was just a joke. One of the funniest things about like people who will try and troll is like when I'm working on like drum kit in particular, and I'm like working on something I'm not good at, and the title will say like I'm practicing this new thing or whatever, and those will be like, you suck at this. That's why I'm practicing, my guy. Think so. Should you practice these even though your left hand match grip is slicing, or should I fix your slicing issues first? Both. Both is the correct answer. There's always technique issues to work with. Always. I'm still refining technique issues. Like I've mentioned, like I march traditional. I'm trying to fix my match grip. You will always have technique stuff to work on. You can just continue to refine it. I've been drumming since 98, still refining technique in my right hand, even though my right hand has not changed the entire time that I'm doing this. But when you're doing it, one of the things that you could do is you could work on these exercises. There's a couple of videos under the drumming tips playlist that like talks about how to fix slicing. But when you're working on it, you could just like sit there and play the entire exercise while working on your slicing like this. So I'm holding my stick straight up and just use this as like a guiding. You could also do this where you like line up in front of a mirror or a camera and just like look to see, am I playing like this? Or am I going straight up and down? Am I going in an inward slice? So lining up in front of a mirror or a camera can help you to figure out that. If you're at like a different angle, you can't really see the slice as good. Okay? As if it's like pointed straight at whatever it is that you're looking into, camera or mirror. Yeah, you can like literally just work on this, just holding your stick like this and just play through the entire exercise. Another thing that you can do if you want to get like super fancy, one of the things that I did is I took plexiglass. So like kind of looks like it's like a glass but made out of plastic basically. And I made it so that it was at the correct stick angle that I wanted. And I would just practice so I could do both hands inside 2 different layers of plexiglass. And so with the 2 different layers, I made it so that if my sticks were like this, then I had, let me do it like that so it doesn't roll off. I had like a layer out here and a layer in here. So it's basically like a path that I could drum within. And that made it so that I could play any exercise while working to make sure that I'm not like playing slices like that or something. And that will help with that like straight up and down motion. And then that you can do while working on any of these exercises. So either do it all on one hand while you hold one up, either on the inside or the outside of your stick, whatever you want to do for that. Or you could do like some of the plexiglass stuff, or use either a mirror or a video camera. So those are 3 like very distinct, easy ways that you can work on your slicing. Slicing will, by the way, like impact the quality of your sound. So if you're working on slicing, if you do a straight into the head blow like this, or stroke, I guess. I was about to make an analogy for fighting. So I was thinking of like a punching blow, but when you go straight into it, you get a very different sound quality than if you go at a glancing angle. Think of like a ricochet or like a punch. So like I do Muay Thai. So if I punch somebody and I hit them straight on, the force of the impact that goes into that versus if I do like a glancing blow and it goes off to the side, it's just completely different. So the energy either goes into it or it like goes into the direction of where it's going next. So it's the same thing for whenever you're playing into the head. So the slicing, it's a visual tick, like judges can see it and whatnot. If you're doing like rudimental, you can like see the angles of the sticks. But the more important thing is it gives you a completely different sound quality. So if you're playing like this versus like this, it's the same height, but going at it like a really wonky slicing angle just completely changes the sound quality of it. So if you're playing like stick control and whatnot and you slice on some of the patterns and not on the others, it's not going to sound like just one continuous rhythm. Like it's going to be like just like constantly fluctuating up and down, even if your heights aren't changing. So if there's a slice in it. So that's some of the reasons why slicing is bad, for the visual reasons and then for the sound reasons and whatnot. For anyone who's not familiar with it, a lot of drumline instructors, like they're like newer or young, and they might be great players, but they don't necessarily know like how to explain stuff. So I'll over elaborate on things to kind of try and fill in some of the gaps that some drumline instructors will do. The left thumb is always sliding off the stick. So I'm finalizing a script for like a short video on match grip. There's 2 big mistakes that I see with thumb technique. Any kind of match, whether it's right or left hand, doesn't matter. But when you're doing it, you want to make sure that the pad of the thumb is flat on the stick. So 1, this gives you slightly more grip because of your fingerprint holding onto it. But 2, one of the issues that I'll see some people do is they'll put the tip of their thumb on. And the other issue that I'll see is they'll put the side of the thumb on, both of which causes tension along your wrist and forearm. So if you take your thumb and you squeeze right here, you can feel the tension right here in the wrist. And if you take your thumb and you put it on the side and you squeeze right here, you can feel it up here in the hand. So both of which are a no-no. And one of the reasons for that is because when you're playing, if you're doing a wrist mainly approach, there's like kind of three main schools of thought where it's like I'm using finger only, or mainly, I guess I should say, wrist mainly, or using like arm mainly, like whatever you want to do for different techniques, different things that you're playing. When you're doing a wrist mainly approach, if you are relaxed, your wrist can move. If you have tension in the thumb or index finger and you're squeezing to the point where you're getting the change in the coloration, so now I'm squeezing, it gets rid of the blood in the tip of my finger, which is why it changes the color of my finger. Okay, so relaxed, tight, relaxed, tight. As soon as you do that, when you're staying relaxed, squeeze your finger, and then you can't bend your wrist. Suddenly you're using this pumping arm motion, and that's like what people use for like really fast rolls. And part of that is because they're like wrist locks up when you squeeze, and you physically can't bend your wrist. So watch out for that. But that's also why I have a distributed fulcrum. So I have a triangle fulcrum is what it's called. So the way I'm doing it is 1, 2, 3. It's a 3-point contact for the fulcrum itself, as opposed to like this, where it's just thumb and index. This causes more tension in the playing than if you play with a 3-part fulcrum. Now the 3-part does not mean that the thumb and the index stay in alignment. The thumb is actually in between the two fingers. So like your walking fingers, the thumb is hanging out in between the two of them with some overlap on it. So there's like overlap here. It's not like my thumb is above it. It's not like my thumb is below it. There's still some contact here, but with the stick kind of in between. So this 3-part fulcrum, having this finger hanging out over here, not pointing, not straight, because that again causes tension, but relaxed, and having the thumb relaxed with the pad on it, should be able to play and remove your fingers and still feel that wrist motion. So you can literally play most of what you're doing without those. So they're just hanging out, providing some guidance and control without like squeezing to again cut off the circulation. So that's a long-winded answer of what to look out for with your thumbs. But hopefully that helps somebody. Anyways, 58. We'll get to 60, and then I'll chop out. Play the wrong pattern. Got a whole series of videos that I'm planning to talk about. Some of the things I just unpack there. But like scripted out, so it's like more condensed than what I was just saying. Because I've got like almost 100 drumming tips videos. It's like 13 hours of content, but it's not. It's all like responding like I just did, off the cuff. So I want to make even more refined. Keep talking and screw me up. Make short, like 1 or 2 minute videos that unpack a concept, whether it's slicing or like how to hold a stick or what exactly is sound quality, what does it mean to play clean. And I see a lot of instructional videos where it's like 20 minutes kind of rambling about the same thing. Early. A lot of drum instructional videos are like trying to like teach it the way they would in like private lessons, which makes it very conversational, but it's long-winded. Like there's one that was on how to hold traditional grip, and it took him 5 minutes and 24 seconds before he actually talked about traditional grip. It's like a 20-minute video. I'm trying to not do that. Hence why I take way too long sometimes to make these drumming lessons videos, but more are coming out. Don't you worry about that. Cool. So we refined our upstrokes. It's better. Again, when I'm playing this, I'm trying to stay nice, relaxed. Because when I was playing the other day and I was working on inverse, and I was playing it in, what was it? Blue Devil, no, not the Blue Devil spree, the Velvet Knights 5/4 spree. When I was playing it, the cheese invert parts were like tightening up a little bit. And so that's why the last like couple of drum streams have been slowing it down and really refining that and whatnot. Well, we're going to chop out now. So the last like few minutes of these practice streams, I like to focus on chop exercises. It could just be, it doesn't have to be like in this section. It could be a grid variation, or it could be like even a technique exercise, but just play it super fast. So any of these work for chopping out, but it gives you data for things to work on, because when you play something super fast, you'll notice some areas tighten up that cause you to slow down, and then you can come back to the next like practice session and go, okay, what exactly was slowing down in that moment? What was the source of it? Was it because my thumb was too tight? Was it because my angle of the attack was like off? What was I slicing, or etc.? So then if you slow it back down, spend the majority of your time working on something, then you can slowly improve with whatever it is you're doing. Let's play a chop exercise. And so we'll just click to expand. Let's do a float drag variation. These are fun. So a float drag, actually I'll show you. Yeah, we'll do it with flam drags. Classic. Okay, so a flam drag, we have normal. It's 3 notes, usually speaking, in triplets form. But when you do it like this, where it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with this extra diddle, it's called a float variation, named after Tom Float, whose sticks are signed by Tom Float up there, the bottom pair right there. Super chill dude. Met him at Disneyland, and I just, happened to have my sticks in my backpack with my pad, and they happen to be Tom Float sticks. And, yeah, he signed them, so that's why they're up there. But anyways, random fact of the day. Now, the float drag variations sound like this. So that's float flam drags. Float cheese sounds like this. Float 5 sound like this. These are all the same idea in that it's a 5-note pattern with the diddle on the 4th note, and then you put the rudiment in the way that you normally would in triplets at the beginning of it, okay? So this like playlist with different exercises has different variations, where it's like float chet cheeses, or float cheese chutta, or float flam 5s, or whatever. But we're going to play through the float flam drag version. So in the timestamps, we'll jump to whatever BPM you want to start at. I'm going to start at 110. Oh boy. And then we'll just chop out as fast as I can go today. So the first couple lines are a check pattern that puts the whole thing off the left hand right here on the second line. And then you do float versions. Talking is messing me up today. One of those days. Anyways, so you do float versions of whatever the rudiment is. In this case, it's just a normal version and float version of flam drags. Now I'm not going to talk through this while I play, because I just keep having myself this morning. It's just one of those days. I appreciate the kind words. I've made your drumming better. Well, I'm glad these resources can help. I made a bunch of them, a couple thousand. So stay tuned for more. I'm sincerely happy to hear that. That's the whole goal of like creating this stuff for free for people. By the way, these flam taps can be all one height or two heights. Like that. Or all up. Like this. Whatever you want to do. So, all one height, or you can have like a tenuto marking, decrescendo, whatever you want to do. That was 130, right? Yeah, sure. 140. Had something wonky happen with one of those left-hand diddles right here on the float 5s. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Vibes, good morning, welcome back. How you been? 150. How fast are we gonna go today? Maybe all the way up to 7 miles per hour. What was that? 150? Okay, 160. I was about to jump by 20. I can math sometimes. My doctorate is not in mathing. Now, the faster tempi, which is plural for tempo, this gets a little rough with these extra heavy Hardeman hammer sticks, but I love them because they're great for working on chops, and they're like double tape, so they're extra heavy. Love it. Whoa! Try that again. Yeah, so, hey, shh. What's interesting is that my left hand, this is something that I just keep working on, is because I did so much time with this, and now I'm playing match grip, it's trying to be more Germanic with its approach, so flatter, like this, as opposed to American at an angle, where it slopes down. And so on the flam taps, it's whoop, flattening out, and it's slowing me down a little bit, so I need to fix that. There's more than 40 rudiments? Oh, yeah. There's multiple people that I know of who have books that have hundreds of rudiments in it. In fact, I would argue that the 40 essential rudiments are not really even relevant today. Most of them are like how long you're playing a roll. And a lot of them you don't play. Like Arata McHugh, even in like Cerrone or De La Cluse, like these like well-known college level like concert snare solos and whatnot, like you're not gonna play that, like a triplet Radamacue, that's like not really a thing that you're really going to focus on. But yeah, like these are flam drags and these are float flam drags. Neither of those are in the 40 essential rudiments. And then there's the cheeses, float cheeses, and there's chut cheeses, and then there's book reports, which are... And there's book report's little brother. Like, there's so many different variations of different rudiments out there, but there are literally entire books dedicated to just like hundreds of wacky, weird rudiments. Like grandmas or Shirley Murphy's, which are also called 1-2-3s, where you go 1, 2, 3, hey, shh, shh, shh. So you play pa-da-da-3, pa-da-da-3, pa-da-da-3. They're really fun to play fast. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or egg beaters. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So, and it sounds like egg beaters, hence the name, etc. But yeah, there's lots. Let's try it. Yeah, so still the flam taps. So next technique stream, I'll work on the flam taps more. But it hasn't completely fallen apart yet, so we're going to go faster. Even though we've collected the data for what to work on next, we haven't fallen apart. Alright, just because we're here. Wish me luck. This one will immediately count off. Normally, if it ends with a 0 or a 5, it gives you a few seconds to set yourself up. But the very last BPM, it just immediately starts. Flawless. All right, so next time we'll work on flam taps when I do a technique stream. So tomorrow we'll do a drum kit, work on limb independent stuff. But the next technique stream will specifically work on flam taps. Now, how am I going to do that? So I'll give you a little preview of what's to come. So if we go back to the home tab on my tuba view, and you scroll down to the technique section, and then click to expand so you can actually see all the playlists. There's the Rudiment Builders playlist right here. And there's a great exercise for working on your flam taps that's just like the inverts builder in terms of how it's designed, but it's specifically working on flam taps. So what you're playing here is like a check pattern into what your right hand plays on a flam tap. Okay. And what you're doing is you're adding in one left hand at a time. So a grace note for this measure. And then this accent. So you're playing. And then on this measure. And then you add in one more left hand right here. And then you're getting rid of one right hand at a time. So we get rid of this right hand. And then we get rid of this right hand. And then we get rid of the first right hand. And then it ends with a left hand check pattern. So it's slowly going from like one hand only, layering in another hand, into a flam tap, normal way to do it, and then it's slowly removing the other hand. So it's like this like sleight of hand with how you're working on your flam taps. And this is a great way to isolate out your hands while putting them in context together to work on your flam taps, or your cheeses, or your inverts, or your cheese inverts, whatever you want to do. So if you want to work on those rudiments, I highly recommend checking out these different builder variations. If you want to work on some sticking stuff, at the top there's these zoom variations. My wife named it. I think it's hilarious. Like this exercise works on paradiddles. This one works on paradiddle diddles. Whatever you want to do to work on your rudiments, the rudiment builders is a great way to do that. Now in the home tab, you can find these organized alphabetically. But if you want to find it organized neater than I can on YouTube, if you go to the first link at the top of every single one of these play-alongs, it'll show you everything organized neater than I can on YouTube, like the 62 chop exercises, the 1,000+ grid variations right here. There's all the triplet ones, all the 16th notes, and then here's some wacky ones like Hurt to Grid. We've got all the 150+ timing stuff and all the 55 drum charts, both straight and swung. Every single one of these playlists, by the way, has this video linked in it that shows you how to develop limb independence if you're not sure what system to use for that. This will help you unlock that. There's 476 bass exercises, timing exercises, a bunch of cadences in score format, 375 technique exercises, and then over 13 hours of drumming tips in this video or this playlist, a bunch of drumming lessons, and then even the prior live streams if you're interested. If you want to see the sticks I'm using or the books I recommend, if you go to /gear on this link, it takes you here. Most of these are affiliate links through Amazon, so thank you people who have used that. It does help me out. But this shows you a bunch of different books I recommend, as well as like what pad am I playing on. These are the sticks I'm using. They're called Hardeman hammers. They are extra heavy versions of these sticks, which are the Ralph Hardemans, and they're great for building your chops. But I'm going to call it here. If you enjoy this content, just share it with somebody else. It's free. If it says members first, it's coming out for free. So don't worry. You don't have to pay for membership to get access to all these thousands of exercises. But because there's like over 400 exercises scheduled, it might take more than a year. So if you want to, you can sign up for 99 cents on YouTube. That's the lowest I can make the membership tier, but you don't have to. I promise they're all coming out. So they're not going to be behind a paywall or anything. Anyways, I'm going to tear this thing down. I'm going to get ready for some gaming. So we're playing through Game 4 in the Uncharted series. We just beat Game 3 yesterday. So if you go to /game, you can find all my gaming highlights here, as well as all the prior streams for all the different games that we played. And we're right now inside of the Uncharted series. But I appreciate everybody who's using this free content. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Hope you make slow progress with your drumming. It takes a long time. That's why I'm saying slow. It's not a get good fast like process. But anyways, I'm rambling here. You're very welcome. Hope you have a good day. But goodbye.